Jean-François, let me ask you a question. Where would you like to start today?
Well, you're the master of this domain with Natasha, so I'll just follow your lead.
Very well. We asked a question earlier on today about Denis Coderre, La Presse carrying a story this morning that he has said, I think the word is seriously considering a run for the Quebec Liberal leadership. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think it's a great news. Great news for commentators, for cartoonists. Certainly it makes our day. We've been talking about this all day. Now, how important is it for the Liberal Party? Well, first, it's the first person of any significance to say that he wants to lead the party, so that's good news. He's a well-known figure, but he's not a winner in the sense that he won his riding, of course, in Montreal and the Liberal riding, the federal riding, but he was not that great at winning in Montreal. His first win for mayor, he only had about a third of the votes because it was a very divided election. But then he was beaten, getting 45% of the vote and got a little less than that the last time around. So he doesn't come like the guy who won every fight and now he's transferring this winning streak to the Liberal Party. That's not the case. The other thing I would say is that it depends on how the election in October 26 shapes up. If it's an election about health or education, there's no great added value of Denis Coderre. He seems like a guy who was mostly in the past, didn't deal with these issues. If the issue is whether or not Paul Saint-Pierre Plamondon will be elected and hold a referendum for independence, then Denis Coderre's casting is superb because he represents much more than François Legault or someone who would replace him, a credible federalist position. And his posture is representing what we have, the status quo, the values of Canada and Quebec within Canada, and he embodies that. So it all depends on how the situation evolves politically.
Now, we had a texter make a really interesting point, which is kind of along the lines that this is the best thing that could happen to the Liberal Party because it'll stir things up, right? It'll get them to stop being so stagnant and navel-gazing, as our listeners said. What do you think? Is this a good thing for the Liberal Party, even if they don't want Denis Coderre, but just to get them talking about what they should be doing here? Well,
we're talking about the Liberal Party. We're saying that someone of significance is interested in the leadership. That's a paradigm shift for the last 3 years. So that's all bonus. That's all plus. And certainly he wouldn't be a bad leader. He would be a leader of. He has charisma. He has. I've seen him. When he was mayor, I was a minister for the metropolis. So we worked a lot together. He was very pragmatic. We had a good relationship. I saw him shake hands everywhere, and he's a machine. He has his faults. He can mismanage files, like not wanting to confront the issue of how many tickets he had given for the electric race. When and this lasted 2 weeks, he should have cleared the decks on the first day to change the subject. So that was crisis management 101. He failed. But listen, he's a seasoned politician. Everyone would talk about him every day, like when he was mayor or a candidate, and that's what the Liberal Party needs. Now, I'm not sure he's really ready to handle linguistic identity politics in the rest of Quebec. He wasn't very sure-footed on that in the last mayoral election. He can learn. But listen, it's better than nothing. I don't see anyone at the Liberal Party saying we don't want him to run. Even people who are critical of him would say, well, maybe this will stir up more candidates and we'll have a race.
To your point just now, Jean-François, of he will learn, that expression in English is you can't teach an old dog new tricks. He himself, in the interview he did with David Hertel last week, said, look, I'm 60 years old. maybe it's a generational thing. Maybe, people are not ready to accept that now. You look at people like Paul Saint-Pierre Plamondon and Gabriel Nadeau-Dubois. Mm-hmm. You still think he could learn, would be willing to learn even at this age?
Well, I'm 65, and a day when I didn't learn something is a wasted day, and I try not to waste a single day. So, listen, I think he can learn a number of things, but of course he has a personality which will not change, and it depends. If we were to choose between three leaders to just bring Quebec forward as is, I think his age would be a detriment. If the issue is, do we stay in Canada or try this risk of going to independence, he is the risk-averse person. That's why in that case, he could be a good fit.
How do you think he would do in the regions? Because that was another thing that a listener pointed out, that, we know Mara Risky is thinking perhaps in 2025 she might run to be leader of the Quebec Liberals, but that she wouldn't play well sadly in the regions for the same reasons that Dominique Anglade did not. Would Denis Coderre play well in the regions? Does he have the name recognition and the popularity there?
Well, he has the name recognition. The voter is looking for is not millennials. He's looking for all these baby boomers, francophones who used to vote Liberal. So those are the people that he can reach, talk to. They know him. He speaks their language. He's not a snob Montrealer from the plateau. He's a salt of the earth person. Yeah. So no, I don't doubt his ability to try and reach former Liberal voters in the regions.
So let me flip the table here. So here you have Denis Coderre considering a run, 60 years old, and on the other end you have Antoine Dion-Charest, who some people think is in fact going to run. Name recognition, son of Jean Charest. What about that?
Well, it would be good to have a race and to have Denis Coderre tested in a race. And I always say that if you become a leader of a party without a race, your legitimacy is weakened. You have to have won the race, and for people to rally around the winner. I would welcome Mr. Dion-Charest to run as well. He would probably start running just to have his name recognition go up and being a strong member of the cabinet afterwards. But as you know, that's the candidate syndrome. Once you're in the race, you believe you will win it, whatever the numbers say, because you have a group around you who are for you, and every day you meet them and they say you're the best. And but if he runs, if Marois Risky runs, if Frédéric Beauchemin, the finance critic runs, it will make for an interesting race, and that's what the Liberal Party needs. Attract attention, have a debate. Have some suspense.
Okay.
Fair enough.
I will tell you one thing. This text that came in, which I thought was interesting with respect to this, it says, I think it'd be fine. His arrogance would complement Monsieur Legault's arrogance perfectly.
There is that.
So there you go.
There is that.
We would watch the leaders' debate for sure.
That is true.
Absolutely.
That is true. Jean-François Lisée, thank you. Appreciate it. We'll talk to you again next week.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Merci.